So let's talk about Tyler Perry's new movie.
If it wasn't for Tony, oh.
New movie that just came out on Netflix called A Fall from Grace by Tyler Perry. I don't normally do movie reviews, but after watching this movie, something kept pushing me to do this review, and all the different things I seen on Twitter and the errors and the mistakes and stuff like that, and I have my own opinion on it. I gotta do this review. The story centers around Crystal Fox's character trying to, plead her innocence in murdering the husband, who was this young guy that seduced her just for the money, which, you can see in the trailer. And also, it's a twist in the end that I'm not going to give away, but I'm going to slightly discuss. And Brisha Webb plays the lawyer. Felicia Rashad plays the best friend. And then there's a lot of other supporting characters. Oh, and Tyler Perry himself makes an appearance in the movie. And I got to say, Brisha Webb really surprised me because I'm more used to her playing comedic roles, but she really did a good job with this. And Felicia Rashad really surprised me because she's used to playing the motherly type of roles. We know her from The Cosby Show, and she has a lot of supporting roles where she's the motherly, grandmotherly type character. So she really did a good job too. But let me say this first. I really enjoyed the movie as far as like its watchability. And, sit down and watch it. It's 2 hours. And, if it's a nice night and you don't have nothing to do, you want something to watch, you cook some food, you order some food, you want something to watch while you eat your food with, this is the perfect movie to do it because it's a lot to look at. Things in the movie that's distracting, first, everybody been saying it, but the wigs that Crystal Fox character had was wild. Like, we know she was supposed to be in jail and she was supposed to be going through it, but damn. Like, really? And then the scenes where she was more put together, 1 minute she had her having the have-nots curly wig, the next minute she had a Michelle Obama wig. It was a lot. It was a lot. Brisha Webb, her hair looked pretty good. She played the lawyer. Her hair was pretty good. It was alright. And Tyler Perry himself, like, I guess he had to make up for it. He gave himself some shabby looking hair because he was looking like a werewolf going through like mid-transformation or something. And so the wigs were just horrible. And something else that got to me was, okay, Tyler Perry, you have every right to be in your own movies. But it's like, really, Tyler Perry, you gonna play the annoying boss? It was, his role in the movie was laughable because it was like every time you seen him, he was screaming. And especially it was a part where he's yelling for coffee. He's like, coffee. Like, it was laughable. I'm sorry. Like, when that scene came up, me and my mother was just laughing. Like, really? Really, Tyler Perry? Okay. I'm sorry, hold on. He was like, for real? But he pulled it together in the end as the the stern boss that wants her to do right. And another thing is there's a lot of technical production errors in this movie. It's like, really, Tyler Perry? Now, the movie was shot in 5 days. It's obvious because it's like, how did you miss this? It was scenes where, first of all, I feel like the cinematography, certain scenes were too dark. And it was a scene where like the guy took Crystal Fox to see fireflies, and you could tell the fireflies were fake. It looked like blinking dots. Like, if you know what fireflies look like. The fireflies look so fake and like post-production, like they just put in flashing lights. I'm like, really? Then there's parts where they was in a diner, right? It's an old man in the background. He's has food on his plate, but he picked it up with an empty fork and put it into his mouth and chewing. What are you chewing, air? And then he drunk from an invisible glass. Tyler Perry, what happened? And then they asked for wine. What kind of diner has wine? if what kind of diner has wine? That's another question. Another thing, parts where you can see that she was supposed to be texting the guy, but you can see that it was screenshotted, and you can see a whole row of screenshots in the phone. Basically, like, it was fake. You could tell it was fake because it's like they screenshotted him sending her messages. Then you could tell that the phone didn't have a SIM card. Really? And then another thing, what was it? Something else? Something else. It was just, it was appalling. It was like, wow. And some of these I didn't realize. I could see, like, okay, but if you really okay, it took y'all 5 days to film the movie. The most I could have did was in post-production, pay attention to all the details. Come on now. Come on. And then another thing was like, okay, the acting was pretty cool, but I feel like the guy, Mekhi Brooks, when he got angry, that was laughable too. And the switch was too dramatic. Like, that's the thing. Sometimes Tyler Perry, he has characters flip like this. Like, one scene they're talking calmly, the next minute they cursing and throwing bottles, and it's like, wait, like, where's the build up? Like, it's no build up. It's just, okay, now it's like, okay, it's been an hour into the movie, now he's supposed to be mad, so he's screaming. And then it was this parts of the movie that was just like, and it was kind of semi-predictable, because when Brisha Webb first went to visit Felicia Rashad's house, I kind of already picked up what the twist was going to be. And if you watch closely, you're going to pick it up too. And then another thing, Brisha Webb's boyfriend, he's a cop. How did he, 2 different occasions, he was arresting somebody, and he told the guy, stay right there, and then drove off with him handcuffed against the store wall. I'm like, what? Then he handcuffed Felicia Rashad, left her handcuffed to the table. What? And then, how did Felicia Rashad, how was she able to get away and start all over? Like, her face wasn't all over the news. That didn't make no sense to me either. And how did she get away with her handcuffs behind her back? How did she take those off? Like the Tyler Perry, he has a story, but there's so many plot holes and things that don't add up, don't make sense, that you're just supposed to assume what happened next, or just assume, okay, I guess she didn't get caught, or I guess this happened, I guess that happened. There's so many different things wrong with this. And Tyler Perry has recently come under some, criticism because of how he's like the only writer on his shows, and he don't need a writer's room. He write like 10 shows, and he write all his shows. He got like 10 different shows, right? 2 different networks. He write all his shows. He don't need no writers. He direct, produce all of them, and that's really commendable. He got that big history-breaking studio. That's another commendable thing. But it's like, Tyler Perry, you at this point, you need the help. We know you need the help. And okay, the money is coming in, but it's like, at what point do you take the art into consideration? Like, the money is coming in, but what point do you take the criticism and the art aspect of it into consideration? So that's all I gotta say. I don't normally do movie reviews, but I had to come do this review because this movie appalled me. And I gotta say, like I said, it's an enjoyable watch, but watch out for the things I said. So that was just my thoughts on the movie. Let me know what you thought about the movie down below in the comments. And what do you think about Tyler Perry as a writer, director, as a filmmaker in general? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can always see when I post. And thank you for watching. I can't wait to read your comments. I know this is going to be a funny discussion.